Hey guys, what's up? It's favorite YouTuber Jaya. Welcome back to my channel. We talk about all things money, finance, and entrepreneurship. Guys, in today's video, we are going to be talking about, I do this video annually, or maybe biannually, things that I have learned from moving out when I was 18 years old. Just in case you are new to this channel, if you have never seen my face before, just to give you a quick wrap up, I moved from Atlanta, Georgia to Los Angeles, California when I was 18 years old. And then last year when I was 21, I moved from Los Angeles to Dallas. So I have just been all over the place, moving around since I was 18 years old. And I have learned a couple things along the way. And I always love to share the things that I've learned to see maybe if you can apply these to your situation. If you're about to turn 18 and you're thinking, I want to move to a new city, I want to be free, I want to be a bird, I'm going to get out of my hometown, maybe these trinkets of wisdom will be able to help you. So without further ado, what I learned moving out at 18 years old. Okay, so number one, the first one, this is a given, it's common sense, but it really doesn't set in until you experience it or until somebody says it. When you live on your own, all of your bills are your responsibility. And I know you're like, what? Duh, of course. But I don't really think that you understand that every single bill you have to pay. And that can be problematic when you're a young person, because realistically, how much money can you really earn at 19 years old? I know you might see a video on YouTube like, oh, I'm 19, I'm a millionaire, or see a video on TikTok like, oh, I'm 21, I started an e-commerce business and now I revenue 6 figures a month. And you're gonna think, oh, I'm gonna do that too, and I'm gonna live on my own when I'm 18 years old. Realistically, until you get your e-commerce store and you're making 6 figures a month, what are you going to do to hold yourself over until you can pay your bills? Realistically, if you were to get a real job, how much money can you earn at 19 years old when you have real salaried college master's degree type responsibility? For example, your rent, the average rent for an apartment is $1,200. Car insurance and car note together, let's say you have a car note, that's $250. Car insurance is another $250, that's $500. So right there, we're already at $1,700 a month. But wait, you have your phone bill, that's $75. Then you have to pay for Wi-Fi, that's an additional $50 to $65. Then you have to pay for electricity, because when you live in an apartment, you have to pay the electricity bill every single month. That ranges from about $50 to $150. Then you have to put gas in your car. Gas is expensive. You also have to buy groceries. Groceries on average, if you were to only spend $50 a week on groceries, which for one person is not a lot. That is not a lot. $50 a week on groceries, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's $200 a month minimum. You're probably going to spend more than $50 a week on groceries. So you're looking at anywhere between $250 to $300 a month on groceries plus gas. And then addition on top of that, if you want to go out with friends, if you want to buy yourself something nice, you're going to need to make at least roughly around $2,500 a month. $2,500 a month ranges anywhere from $20 to $24 an hour. So you would need to find a job between the ages of 18, 19 years old that pay about $20 to $24 an hour. The issue is with those type of jobs, you need experience. Very little entry-level job, McDonald's, cashier type jobs, they're not paying $20 to $24 an hour. They may pay $15 or $16 an hour, which is still good, but when you have all of these responsibilities, it's not enough. It's just not enough. So you're going to need a job that pays a little bit more if you're going to have all of these responsibilities. And realistically, when you're 18, 19 years old, you don't have that much experience. When you're 20 or 21 years old and you don't have that much experience, it's going to be very difficult for you to secure a job like that. So that is definitely something that I came to realize. I'm like, dang, I never have any money left over after I pay all my bills. So what is going on? It's every single bill is your responsibility. Wi-Fi is due. You have to pay it. Phone bill, you have to pay it. Car insurance, you have to pay it. Rent is due the first of every single month. Every 30 days. It does not stop. It's never, oh, it's on me this month. Nope. Every single 30 to 31 days, you have to come up with that $1,200 or $1,300. Don't get sick. Don't get sick. You better have that PTO or those sick days, because if not, you're going to be on the streets or back at your parents' house. And that is something that I came to realize. It is a harsh reality when it finally starts to set in. Coming in at number 2, it is okay to change your mind about things. I was very stubborn, a very stubborn girl. I moved when I was 18 years old. I'm like, I love California. I'm never leaving Los Angeles. Don't want to leave ever. I moved here. I made it a big deal. 5 days after I turned 18, I'm going to California. Bye. And I'm there for 4 years. And I'm like, actually, I don't like it here. And I had a problem admitting that I didn't like it anymore, because I'm like, I can't believe I did this big move and now I want to leave. but it's okay, because at the end of the day, that stubbornness, that willingness to be like, nope, I don't want to change, that's just your pride. And who are you proving it to? You live by yourself. So pick up and move and be free and have fun. Your 20s last for 10 years. I used to be really stuck in my ways about not having a roommate. I don't want a roommate. Roommates suck. I don't want to come home to somebody that I don't know, which is still true. I'm open to having a roommate, but it has to be somebody that I know and somebody that I'm comfortable with. But still, just the shift in mentality. Why aren't you open to having a roommate? Is it possible that you can make this situation feasible for you so your rent could be a little bit cheaper? Stuck in your ways and being stubborn. It's okay to change your mind. But deep down inside, I knew after a couple years, Los Angeles was not going to last for me, because I wanted to buy a house. I'm like, how am I going to buy a house in California if I want something that's remotely decent? I'm looking at about $1.2 to $1.7 million. And at 18 years old, I'm like, okay, $1 million. It's okay, it's a house. I'll just spend $1 million. And then I turned 20 years old and I finally actually got a taste of how much things cost. And I had been paying rent for 2 years. And I'm like, whoa, a mortgage on $1 million house? How is that going to happen? Maybe I should start looking at cheaper states if I actually want to accomplish something worth meaning. Coming in at number three, another thing I did not want to admit to myself because I was so stubborn, but it's so true. Living on your own, it gets lonely. I never thought I'd say that. Oh, I'm going to croak. No, but seriously though, I thought I want to live alone. I just want to be at peace. And I want to have my own space, and I don't have anybody bothering me, because growing up I shared a room with my sister. I'm like, I want to be at peace. And then I don't know, it hit about year 4, because 18, 19, 20, I want to say about 21 ish. I'm like, oh, it actually would be nice to have somebody to come home to. It actually would be nice to have something missing me when I come home. So maybe like a pet or something. I'm considering maybe getting an animal to come home to, or maybe, having a friend that you roommate with, maybe, getting married, getting a husband. I don't know, something, okay? Because this is lonely. It's actually it becomes quite miserable at times, especially on my days off when all of my friends are busy. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll just sit in my house in silence. It's kind of sad, but it does get lonely. So for the person that is watching this is like, I'm going to live on my own. Okay, live on your own. The first couple of years might be nice, but once you start hitting year 3, year 4, at least for me, you're going to say, I kind of wish I had somebody to come home to. Coming in at number 4, you cannot keep up with your friends who live at home with their parents. I know this is probably another duh statement, but it really didn't set in for me until after I had been living on my own for a little while. And I was just like, I would see my friends just go and buy things without thinking about it. And I'm just like, what? You just went? I'm like, oh, those Nikes are so cute. Here's $160. If I wanted to buy myself a new pair of shoes, to this day, I have to budget. I have to think about it for months. First, I'll have to consider, is this a responsible decision for me to make? Can I really afford these shoes? Because one bad decision could make me behind on my rent payment. And then I really have to think, is this something that I can do, right? So when I would see my friends, I remember it would just be like little things. Like they just go up to Starbucks. When I used to work at a grocery store, and I had to be there super early in the morning, getting myself a coffee. This coffee was like $2.15 or $2.50. I would get a really small coffee before I started work, and that was like a treat to myself, that I would get myself this coffee, and it would be my pick me up for work. And I would see my friends or my counterparts that were around the same age as me. Every single morning they would be going and get like the venti caramel iced macchiato with an extra shot, $7-8 drinks every single day. And I'm just like, how are you able to $7 on coffee? I can't do that. That's just not in my budget. I cannot afford that. And I would just have like these small little inklings of jealousy just resonating in my soul. Like, how are you able to just spend money without thinking about it? Like, what does that feel like? What does it feel like to spend money? People my age will go into the shopping mall, and they will spend $200 on clothing. They'll see something that they were not planning on buying. No plan on buying or spending $200 that day, and go in the mall, and they would buy it, and they would walk out, and they wouldn't even think about it. What does that feel like? I would not know. And if you move out at 18 years old and you have a regular job, you probably will not know what that feels like either. If you want to spend $200 on a leisure item, on a leisurely item, you're going to have to budget for that. You're going to have to save for that, put money aside, $10 here, $20 here until you're able to buy it. And then when you walk out with that product, you're going to feel like you just reached the top of a mountain. And last but not least, coming in at number five, when I thought I was moving out at 18 years old, I thought that I was putting myself ahead in life because I thought, oh, I'm moving out before my friends, meaning that I'm getting a head start and I'm going to have like all of this wisdom and blah, blah, blah that they don't have because they still live at the home with their parents, right? But then you see that they move out when they're like 24 years old, and instead of them moving out to their first apartment, they just went and bought a house. Or you see that they're 25 years old and they have $25,000 to $30,000 saved up in their savings account. This is so true. I knew somebody who was 25 years old and he had, I believe, maybe just $20,000 to $25,000 in his savings account because he lived at home with his parents and he put all of his money in his savings and barely spent any money. And I'm thinking and I'm looking around and it's like, okay, you're 25 and you have a house. You're 22, 23 and you have thousands of dollars in your savings account. What am I doing wrong? And I realized that living on your own at a young age actually can set you back a lot financially. Well, let me not say that it sets you back, but it can make it look like you're behind when you compare yourself to your co-peers. And I know you're not supposed to say, don't compare yourself. Everybody's on their own journey and peace, love, and happiness and all that great stuff. But in order to get like a good idea of whether you're on track in life, you do have to like subconsciously compare yourself a little bit to see like if you're 38 and you're still living at home with your parents, obviously you're not on track. Why? Because the majority of 38-year-olds don't live at home with their parents. So it is a certain degree of comparison that you make to others to see if you're on the right track. And when you see people who are the same age of you or a couple years older than you, way ahead of you, you're like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I behind? It may not be that you're behind. They just had a smaller advantage because they had the opportunity to live with their parents and they did not have to pay all the bills and they did not have all the responsibilities that you had when you moved out at a very young age. However, I would not trade this for the world. The experiences that I had, the knowledge that I've learned, the maturity that I've gained, I do not believe that I would be the same person that I am today if I had not moved out at a young age. So I would not trade this for the world. Or you are not behind, you are just on a different path. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I enjoyed today's video. Today's video was fun, high energy, and it's just always a good refresher to think like, wow, when I was 18 years old, you can go back and watch my YouTube videos from when I was 18 years old because I've been on YouTube for a while. I'm getting old, okay? I'm gonna be 23 soon. I'm getting very old. You guys can go back and watch those videos, and I just would never know the things that I know now. But like I said before, I am thankful for all of the experiences. I'm thankful for all of the opportunities, the maturity, the wisdom, and I would not trade it for the world. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you did not like this video, don't give me false accolades, okay? If you didn't like this video, comment down below. Comment down below what age did you leave the house, and when you left the house, did you have any money in the savings account? Did you feel like it set you back, or do you feel like it sets you up for success in the future? And last but not least, make sure you subscribe because all of us are on different paths and we're all supporting each other. So make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. In the meantime, stay strong. Bye guys.